Good morning, gun nuts. This is Nathan. Welcome to the reloading room. In this video, we're going to head down to the range and we're going to test out our loads with 42-27 and accurate arms number 7. And we're going to shoot in 15 round sessions and take some averages and see which load is going to be the most accurate. So let's get down to the range. All right, so we're down to the range with the 45 Colt Henry. We've got 100 rounds loaded up, 50 of 42-27, 50 of AA7. We're going to be shooting at 50 yards. The scope sighted in from the last trip we were here, or at least last trip I was here. I'm going to start off with, I guess you'd call them sighters. Not really so much sighters, it's just kind of getting me ready. I loaded 5 extra of the hotter rounds, and I'm going to go ahead and put those in here and then fire them down just to make sure everything's still on target and make sure that that I'm hitting something. Alright, so that was 14.5. I'm going to take you guys down and take a look at this, and then we're going to shoot another set of 14.5 at the same spot. You guys can kind of watch and see where they're hitting. Alright guys, so as you see here, not too shabby. Looks like there's a little bit of a flyer. That's getting awful close to an inch here at 50. So that's not bad, which is about what we're looking for. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this, set you guys up, and then we'll shoot another 5 at that spot, see what happens. Alright, gun nuts, so how do we do? I'll tell you, that don't look too daggone bad, now does it? Looks like I'm having a couple flyers here and there every once in a while, which I'm going to guarantee is me. I'll go back and look at the footage and find out what's going on here, if I had 2 separate groups forming because the barrel may be getting hot. So I shot 10 in a row there, and that's right after shooting at 5, so may have had a barrel getting warm or something, and she might have moved from here to here. Alright. Fantastic. Alright, so let's regroup and go for our next set, which I think is 14.2. Alright guys, well that group went pretty well. I can't really complain. That's about what I'm hoping for, to be honest. If that was the best that I had gotten, or I get today, that's good enough. But we've got 14.2 and then 14 grains of AA7 to shoot as well, and then the 42-27s to try. I'm gonna do one at a time instead of mixing them back and forth. But so let's go ahead and shoot these 14.2s, and I'll bring you in for the first 5, and then we'll take you down there for the next 10. Alright guys and gals, this is 14.2 grains of AA number 7. All right, let's go see how we did. All right, surprisingly, it seems like it didn't do all that well, or didn't do as well as I expected. I got 4 right here, which is good. That's my inch. And then I got one way over here. Huh. And another, I also took the 14.7 and kind of, I had one more, or 14.5, and I had one more set of 5 with that, and I shot this, which is huge. So I don't know what's going on here, why all of a sudden it went from being, you know, making kind of a ragged hole to that kind of lateral dispersion. I'll check my scope again. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot these next 10 and see how we do. Wow, yeah, not much better, is it? It looks like it's trying to do something, trying to group, but it looks like it's moving. I did have a couple flyers in there. I think it was like 3 that I knew that I just, for whatever reason, I didn't like. Another thing that happened is I went and checked, and sure enough, my back scope ring had come loose. So I'm gonna discount this, and I'm gonna look at this, because that's a lot of consistency at one point. This so far, depending on what I see on the footage, is really kind of not, it's not showing me much. So we're gonna go back. We got 14.0 left to AA7. I'm gonna shoot 5 with you on the bench, and then we'll take you up for here for the last 10. All right. So these are 14-point grains of AA number 7 with the tightened up scope ring. So hopefully we'll have a little bit better results. Every once in a while, this thing acts like the trigger goes from being 6 or 7 pounds to like it doubles. It really throws you off. I don't know what that's all about. Could just be feeling, but sorry about the lack of safety glasses, just realized it. Alright, let's go down and see how we did, and then get you set up for these last 10 AA number 7. Alright, so as you can see, shooting a little bit lower, which is what we were seeing earlier with the 14.2. Maybe when I made that adjustment and tightened up that scope ring, it moved the point of impact down a little bit. But once again, it's about an inch or so with one flyer. We'll shoot these next 10 and then see if they all kind of group in that one spot, which would be nice. Alright guys, so it's actually Sunday. We had to go ahead and skedaddle. We had some business to take care of on Friday. And now we're back down here, but the range is a bit more busy, so I'm not going to run you back and forth. So I'll put you down and kind of finish up shooting the AA number 7s. And I might bring you back for some of the stuff with 4227, show you some results, and then we'll wrap this up. Alright, from what I can see in the scope, that didn't look all that promising. It didn't look terrible. That was the 14 grains of AA number 7. And that'll conclude our AA number 7. I think I'm going to wait till we get a chance to go down the range and I'll show you how it did. Alright guys, so as you can see, the results from the 14 grains of AA number 7 were actually a lot better than what I thought. That's looking like a pretty good size hole emerging. I still think that the higher loads were a little bit better. I mean, if you go for this extreme spread stuff, I mean, yeah, it's 2.5, maybe 2 1/4. But the bulk majority, you gotta remember there's 10 rounds in here. It's all right in there. Alright, so we're gonna go over, shoot 42-27 and hopefully get as good or better result. Alright guys, 21.5 grains of 42-27. Let's see what we got. Another one of those where the trigger is just unbelievably hard to pull. I just pulled it off the target and shot it. I don't know why it does that. Might just need to be cleaned. Come back to normal. Weird. Alright guys, I really like that. It felt good. From what I can see through the scope, it looks great. I kind of had a feeling 42-27 was going to be the way to go, but there's tons of unburned powder sitting here on the table. But that's kind of the nature of the beast with this powder. But we'll go ahead and take you down here in a bit and see what we did. Alright guys, you know how some people talk about lateral dispersion for finding out accuracy? I think I'm there. That's 15 rounds, and by and large in everything within an inch. There's a couple that look like a 3-shot flyers out to the left, but that means there's 12 in this hole right here, and then 3 right here, and then 1 there. So we're 11 then in that 1 hole. So unless I see something crazy in the 21.7 and 22s, then it looks like this is probably going to be our bet. Alright, this is 21.7 grains of 42-27. From what I can see, the scope, it doesn't look nearly as good as the 21.5 grains. Part of that could be me, but looks pretty big. I don't know, we'll see. Alright guys, so once again there's 15 rounds right there. So You could say 2 inches. This I know I did. Guy next to me shot at the exact same time, and this one he shot like a split second before I did. It just kind of set it off, and I wasn't totally settled in where I wanted to be. So that's what we're looking at. About I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches or so. That's not too bad. Not quite. I don't think quite as good as this down here. I think that's kind of. I think this is not necessarily as good because it's up and down as long as sideways. But I'll give 22 grains a shot and see what we get. Alright, it's 22 grains of Hogdon 4227. Let's see how she does. Target just blew up.
Bar one, we the best bar none, hands down, damn clowns. You don't wanna spar, son. Mad similes and smart puns. Your baby blew me in the bushes, aborigines and dark guns. Large funds, from trying to get that tart money. Angel slaying, find me laying with the heart bunnies. Still living like I'm swimming with the sharks, son. Rumbling and stumbling through life like a bar rummy. A smart dummy keeps numbing the brain. Cover the pain, I gotta keep it smothered and clean. Task rock, but that's not what my mother would say. My wonderful day is dabbing on a butter buffet. So get ready, mother lovers, cause we about to take it.
Alright, so that was 10. I'm gonna head down here and take a look in a minute. Alright, so 22 grains, not bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Looks like about 2 inches still. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. 2.5 maybe from the extremes. Still not bad. That's 20 rounds in there. So that's not terrible. I still think this is the standard. I think this is the better. Alright. Alright guys, so that's the AA number 7, which did not give us nearly as good results as the Hogdon 4227 did. Let's take this back to the reloading room and talk it out and come up with a plan moving forward. Alright guys, so we're back here in the reloading room and got my target. I was going to pull them off the box, but as you can see, quite a few of them, the group spilled off the target because of the sighting wasn't perfect on it. We were shooting a little low and to the left. But what I typically try to do when I'm load developing and I'm getting close here is I like to shoot about 15 or so into each group, and then I take the farthest 3 away from the group, and then what you're left with is an average, and it gives you a fair good idea of what you could expect for accuracy. For instance, that would be this one, and probably, I don't know, this one here. And that's going to give us 1 1/3 group. But for this one, it'll be 1, 2, 3. So we're about 1.550 for that group. The rest of these are obviously not exactly going to be on in par. This one and this one aren't good enough. So here we take off 1, 2, 3, and then we bring that in. Keep bringing that in. And then we're about 1 1/10. That's what they got there. So let's say this one, and this one. All right, that's obviously that's 1.750. So that group, while everything's kind of like somewhere, that's your 22. All right. So with this group here, we can eliminate this one, and that little guy right there. So that gives us about 1.6. Yep, 1.6, somewhere around there. So that's about 1.6. That was about 1.8. That was 1.1. And then this over here is about 1.25. So this is the best load with the AA7 for sure. If this was as best as we did, I would be perfectly happy with that. But it isn't. Did a little bit better with 4227. Kind of had an inkling that 4227 was going to be our best load, just because of I am a believer in pet loads, and I think that there's certain powders that typically do very well under certain pressures with certain low densities, and 4227 has been known to perform quite well in 45 Colts. 45 Colt cases. So I was a little biased on 4227. I thought it was going to be the powder, and it turned out that it was. So this is going to be the load we're going to go with, 21.5 grains of 4227. Appreciate you guys sticking with me, and hopefully with the next video, so next week, we'll go ahead and shoot some newspaper, make sure we got some good expansion with that, and if not, maybe we can move over to this AA7 load, and then if that still doesn't get us expanded, then we can move over to one of our other loads. But until next week, stay safe, have fun, I'll see you when I see you. Later.